Hello, tech enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. We've all been there. You're playing a sport, working on a project, or maybe just walking down the street, and in a split second, it happens. A twist, a slip, a fall, an injury. For centuries, our approach to safety has been fundamentally reactive. We wear helmets to protect our heads of a crash. We put up wet floor signs of spill. We learn proper lifting technique to avoid back strain. These methods are essential, but they have a critical limitation. They only mitigate the consequences of an event. They don't stop the event itself. But what if that was about to change? What if we could move from reaction to prediction? What if we had a digital guardian angel constantly watching, analyzing, and warning us of danger it strikes? That's not science fiction anymore. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the digital eye, the incredible network of technology that is learning to track and predict injury risk with astonishing accuracy. This revolution is being driven by a perfect storm of innovation, starting with the devices we wear on our bodies every single day. We're not just talking about counting steps anymore. Wearable technology has matured into sophisticated biomechanical and physiological monitoring labs that fit on your wrist, in your shoe, or even woven into your clothes. Take the modern smartwatch or a dedicated fitness band like a Whoop strap. They continuously monitor your heart rate, but more importantly, your heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV is a powerful metric that measures the variation in time between each heartbeat. A high HRV generally signifies that your body is well rested, recovered, and your nervous system is ready for stress. A consistently declining HRV, however, is a massive red flag. It's a sign of accumulating physiological stress, poor recovery, and a significantly elevated risk of both injury and illness. Before you even run down, your data can tell you that you're pushing your body into the danger zone. Then you have devices like the Oura Ring, which excel at tracking two other crucial pillars of readiness: sleep and body temperature. We all know a bad night's sleep makes us feel sluggish, but the data is clear. Chronic sleep deprivation devastates reaction time, cognitive function, and tissue repair, making you far more susceptible to injury. A smart ring quantifies your sleep stages: light, deep, REM, giving you an objective score on your recovery. It also tracks minute changes in your body temperature. A slight, persistent rise can be the first indicator that your body is fighting off an illness or dealing with significant inflammation long before you consciously feel sick. But it gets even more specific. Let's talk about specialized wearables. Companies like Nerve have developed smart insoles packed with sensors. When a runner uses these, they get a real-time, data-rich picture of their gait. It measures their cadence, foot strike pattern, the degree of pronation, and the balance between their left and right foot. The system's AI can see if a runner's form is starting to break down at mile 10 of a marathon, showing increased impact forces on one knee. This allows the athlete to make an adjustment in the moment or tells their coach that their endurance isn't where it needs to be, preventing a stress fracture that might have occurred weeks later. Similarly, smart clothing from companies like Athos integrates EMG or electromyography sensors directly into the fabric. When a person is lifting weights, these sensors measure the electrical activity of their muscles. The app can show them in real time that during a squat, their glutes aren't firing enough and their lower back is compensating. This is an injury in the making, and this technology catches it, turning a generic exercise into a precise, corrective movement. Of course, our bodies don't exist in a vacuum. The environment around us is an equal partner in any potential injury. This is where the Internet of Things, or IoT, comes into play. Our workplaces, homes, and public spaces are becoming smart and aware. In a modern factory or warehouse, IoT proximity sensors on heavy machinery can automatically slow or shut down a machine if a worker gets too close to a dangerous area. Beacons can track the location of employees in real time, ensuring no one enters a hazardous zone without authorization or the proper equipment. Environmental sensors can monitor for extreme heat or poor air quality, conditions that dramatically increase fatigue and the risk of accidents. For our aging population, This technology is life-changing. Smart flooring and discrete motion sensors in a home can learn a person's daily patterns. If they detect a sudden, sharp impact consistent with a fall, they can automatically alert family members or emergency services. Even more proactively, they can detect subtle changes over weeks, a slower walking speed, a less stable gait, and flag a potential decline in mobility, allowing for intervention much before a fall ever happens. Now you might be thinking, this is an unbelievable amount of data. Heartbeats, sleep cycles, muscle activation, movement patterns, environmental temperatures, it's a digital flood. And data by itself is just noise. The real magic, the brain of this entire operation, is artificial intelligence. This is what turns that noise into a clear, actionable signal. AI-powered biomechanical analysis can use a simple camera like the one on your phone or a strategically placed one in a gym to analyze your movement. Trained on millions of examples of both perfect and flawed form, it can instantly recognize that a warehouse worker is lifting a box with a rounded back, or that a young pitcher's elbow is dropping during their throw, putting immense strain on their shoulder. It doesn't need sensors on the body, it just needs to see. But the true holy grail is the predictive algorithm. Using a branch of AI called machine learning, these systems are a kind of digital fortune teller. They take all of those inputs we've discussed, the personal data from your wearables, the environmental data from IoT sensors, and compare it against a massive data set containing information from thousands of other people, including their injury histories. The AI learns the subtle, complex patterns that precede an injury. It might learn that a specific combination of low HRV, 2 nights of poor sleep, and a 10-degree increase in ambient work temperature leads to a 70% higher chance of a dehydration-related incident. The end result for the user is a simple, clear output, a daily readiness score, a risk assessment, or a specific warning. It's the digital eye not just watching, but understanding.
But the most important question remains: what do we do with this knowledge? How does this data actually transform into real-world protection and create a new, proactive future for safety? That's what we're exploring next.
We've just seen how the digital eye of modern technology can watch over us, collecting a torrent of data about our health and our surroundings. Now we're going to explore the most exciting part, how we use that vision to act. This is where we move from passive monitoring to proactive, personalized protection, fundamentally changing our relationship with safety and health. The data gathered by these systems is the raw material for building a future where injuries are not just treated, but systematically prevented. The first major shift is the move away from generic safety advice to what we can call hyper-personalized risk assessments. Forget one-size-fits-all posters and pamphlets. This new approach creates a unique digital twin, or a dynamic risk profile for every single individual. This profile is a living, breathing data set. It contains your baseline biometrics, your unique movement signature, your past injury history, your sleep patterns, and the specific demands of your job or sport. The system doesn't just see an athlete. It sees Sarah, a 24-year-old soccer player who has a history of right ankle sprains and whose data shows she generates 15% more force on her left leg when she's fatigued. This level of detail is revolutionary. It allows for interventions that are precisely tailored to the individual. Let's see what these predictive interventions look like in the real world. For that elite athlete, Sarah, her coach gets an alert on his tablet before practice. Sarah's readiness score is at 65% due to poor sleep and a high-intensity game 2 days ago. The system flags her as being at high risk for re-injuring her right ankle and recommends she be excluded from high-impact cutting drills, instead focusing on low-intensity technical work and recovery. For a construction worker on a large site, his smartwatch might vibrate with a simple haptic alert, telling him his heart rate is elevated and he hasn't taken a break in 3 hours, prompting him to hydrate and rest to prevent heat exhaustion. A long-haul truck driver's smart glasses could monitor eye tracking and blink rate, detecting the onset of microsleeps and sounding an alarm to pull over long before a catastrophic accident can occur. This is safety that is dynamic, responsive, and personal. This technology is also transforming rehabilitation and recovery. Traditionally, returning to activity after an injury can be a guessing game. An athlete or worker goes back when their injury feels better. Data removes the guesswork. Wearable sensors can be used during physical therapy to ensure a patient is performing their exercises with perfect form, targeting the right muscles, and not putting undue stress on the healing tissue. The real game changer is in determining a safe return to play or work. Instead of subjectivity, we have objective data. Has the strength in the injured limb returned to within 95% of the uninjured limb as measured by EMG sensors? Is the person's gait pattern perfectly symmetrical even under stress and fatigue? Data-driven recovery protocols can dramatically reduce the alarmingly high rates of re-injury that often occur when people return to their activities too soon. Now, as we stand on the brink of this incredible new era of safety, we have to address the giant elephant in the room, the ethical considerations and the challenge of data privacy. It's fantastic that my employer can prevent me from getting injured, but what does that mean for my privacy? Who owns this incredibly intimate stream of data from my body? Is it me, my employer who provided the device, or the tech company that built the algorithm? What happens in the case of a data breach? The potential for misuse is significant. Could a company use this data to discriminate in hiring, choosing only candidates with low-risk physiological profiles? Could health insurance companies demand access to this data, raising premiums for individuals whose lifestyle or biometrics don't meet their ideal standard? We also have to consider algorithmic bias. If an AI is trained primarily on data from one demographic, it may be less accurate and potentially biased against others. And finally, there's the psychological impact. The constant pressure of being monitored, the anxiety of receiving a high-risk notification. Can this create a new form of digital stress, a tyranny of the algorithm that dictates our daily lives? These are not easy questions, and they require robust public debate and strong data protection regulations to ensure this technology empowers us rather than controls us. But if we can navigate these challenges, the future landscape of health and safety is breathtaking. We're moving towards closed-loop systems. Imagine a smart exoskeleton for a factory worker that doesn't just spot poor lifting form, but provides active assistance or haptic feedback to instantly guide the body into a safer position. Think of augmented reality glasses for a firefighter, overlaying a map of the building and highlighting structural weaknesses or extreme heat in their field of view. This technology will eventually fade into the background, becoming a seamless, integrated part of a safer world. It represents a profound societal shift from a culture that glorifies playing through the pain to one that values prehabilitation and intelligent prevention. Health and safety will no longer be a static set of rules, but a continuous, data-informed conversation we have with our own bodies. The ultimate promise of this digital revolution is a future with fewer accidents, faster recoveries, and longer, healthier lives. It's about giving every one of us the insights to understand our own bodies and the tools to navigate our world more safely than ever before. What are your thoughts on this? Is the promise of a safer life worth the data privacy trade-offs? Let us know your take in the comments below. If you found this look into the future of safety as fascinating as we did, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button, share this video with someone you think would find it interesting, and most importantly, subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you won't miss our next deep dive into the incredible tech that is shaping our world. Thanks so much for watching, and stay safe out there.